Morning, everybody. Welcome to LockPod, Season 11, Episode 22. This is the Midwest Most Dangerous Podcast, and we're coming to you live from the NECA IBEW Powerade Indiana Lake County Studios.
Why do I feel like you just kind of are at the tail end of the season, and you're like, yeah, hey, welcome to Season 11, Episode 400.
Yeah, we have 2 more episodes this season. Then we get to take a break. So,
but we still got a great show.
Hey, Joe.
What did Jill say?
I said that's good to know.
Yes.
24. The magic
Jill, guess
number.
what? Jill's like, I just found that out.
Yeah, you got one more
I
week.
did just find that out.
Yeah. Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Thanks for covering.
No problem. It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure hanging out with you guys.
Chris
Yep,
Campbell
man.
in the house.
Jay Vez, what's up with him? On vacation? So this is the week to break into his house? Or
Whoa.
yeah, you're not supposed to talk about people being out of town. He's not out of town, for the record.
No, he's not.
He's working on his house. Like
he is.
carpeting or
Taking
something.
a couple days off.
He'll be there
Good for him.
24/7.
24/7 with a
Shotgun
vicious dog.
And a lot of cameras.
Yeah. So thanks for coming in. Good to see you, Joe.
Yeah.
You just got your April back.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I didn't know I lost it.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today. LockPod, we have month of April off usually. We have the month of August off usually, and then December,
And part of July.
December. Yeah. But so we got 2 more episodes left for season 11, and we're gonna put this one in the books. Mayor Tiffany is gonna be super happy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Mayor Tiff, by the way, we got a great show today. A couple things that are happening. We're going to talk a little bit about whether or not Mayor Tiff's still in. Well, we're going to talk about Mayor Tiff, so stay tuned for that.
Second segment.
We also have Valparaiso Councilwoman Ellen Kapitan in, which is real exciting. We talked about
To close out the
Valparaiso.
show, yeah.
She'll be in after the 8 o'clock hour. And we also want to talk about Mayor Tom. He was on the Above the Fold today, talking at a Lake County Economic Alliance breakfast that was earlier this week where he made some news. It was a really good event. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about Trump and what he's going to do with what money he's got.
We baseball season started officially.
5 a.m. 3 days ago. Maybe
Isn't that
it was
cool?
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, I actually was listening to it on the way into work.
I forgot about it actually. It was in Seoul, South Korea. The first MLB games ever played in South Korea. Did you see
I think they haven't done Japan. Didn't the Cubs open in Japan one year? And I'm not saying it's not South Korea, but I think this is the first time South Korea. But I thought they went to Asia before. I thought the Cubs opened up in Japan several years ago.
I would have been tempted to go, but
This is 15 years ago. I want to say 10.
Well,
Chat will
nonetheless,
tell us.
This is South Korea. It's the first time MLB's had a regular season game in South Korea. It was Dodgers versus the Padres.
It was interesting. I thought one of the cool things as I was looking at the news on the games, they were talking about how energetic the stands are at South Korean games. They have cheerleaders and they have
Noisemakers
ongoing noisemakers, and the walk-up music plays while you're still batting.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That's pretty cool. So
Why not?
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the games, Joe?
No, I didn't.
I know you're a baseball person, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You Sox or Cubs?
Sox.
Chris?
Chicago.
Yeah?
Oh, you're just
Neither?
such a look at you.
So you're not a baseball
He
fan?
said
or-
go sports.
I'm not like a super fan, though.
Okay.
I would rather play
You a
than
basketball
watch.
guy?
No, I don't really follow sports in general.
You know what's weird is the tournament started yesterday, and I'm such a shitty basketball fan.
Oh man,
March
I watched so
Madness.
much. I watched so
Oh,
much
they're good
basketball
games.
yesterday.
I forgot about it until Kevin and I went to pre-show. I was like, oh, look at that. The tournament's on. Kevin's like, don't ever say that to people. I would lose my man card. Give me back that man card right now.
My
So you don't
favorite.
have any money on it then.
Yeah. No.
No.
I don't. Yeah.
See, I think that's why everybody gets so interested. They got something at stake.
Or brackets. We have a family bracket for bragging rights and for
All right,
somebody
I'm
has to
gonna
buy
tell you-
dinner.
I'm telling you who I'm pulling for.
Okay.
I'm pulling for Arizona.
All right. They're fine. Yeah.
bad, huh?
My best pick yesterday was Duquesne winning, so I picked that upset. So I was excited about that.
How about Creighton?
Creighton won. They won big.
Okay.
Kansas looks a little bit rusty. Well, they lost their biggest scorer.
See,
And
I'm just pulling out random
Purdue
names.
plays today. Purdue's
How about-
number one
I'm,
seed.
I'm pulling for Purdue.
Mm,
I have to. My kid's going there.
yeah, that's true. As an IU guy, my kids went to IU, and I've always been an IU fan. So
No, you're
Bobby
a Penn
Knight
guy.
fan.
You're a Penn guy.
I'm
Don't be-
I
don't
want.
give me that shit.
I'm rooting for Yale today. They're the Ivy League champs, so I hope Yale pulls it off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They play basketball at Yale?
They do.
They do like the smart game where they pass it around and stuff, right? Isn't that true?
They actually run
Yeah,
an
I mean,
offense.
I remember Princeton used to be like
It's
that.
a bunch of white dudes, like real smart white dudes, and they like figure out calculations to
It's
pass
a
the
much
ball
more-
around.
Ain't
the Ivy
angles,
League is a
42
mu-
passes
geometry.
before you shoot.
What's
Yeah.
that?
42 passes
Yeah,
before they're allowed
right?
to shoot.
No shot clock.
The Ivy League is a lot more diverse than it used to be. So there is a nice diverse team.
Good.
So yeah,
Good.
Good luck Yale today.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this in the opening MLB game, but I was watching early in the morning, and all the Dodgers were smitten with this actress from South Korea that threw out the first pitch. And then I saw her, and I was smitten also. I'm like,
Really?
holy Toledo. I followed her on Instagram.
Smitten. You
Dude,
just
Holy
followed her.
Toledo, you did have a birthday.
Yeah, really?
Jesus.
Well, I'm trying
Feels
not
like
to
you're
say,
old.
I'm trying not to say fuck all the time, okay? Like, I'm like trying to expand my vocabulary. Pardon me.
I like Holy Toledo. I got
I
it.
could say holy Toledo. I could say holy,
Yeah, right.
whatever.
I liked it.
Holy Toledo is better. I was reminded the other day that my mother-in-law listens to every episode.
So you're like, I'm going to start saying Holy
Holy
Toledo.
man. I forgot about that.
You swearing hasn't stopped her yet.
I know. She's scarred probably from listening to me.
No,
But,
nothing's happened this
yeah.
season that could scar her.
This lady that threw out the first pitch reminded me of Marissa. That's why.
Oh, come on.
I'm
What?
serious.
Nikki Haley,
Yeah.
a 29-year-old
Yes.
South Korean
Yes.
movie star.
Yes.
Are you in trouble or something? Is that why you're like,
Yeah,
this girl that I was smitten with reminds me of Marissa?
I mean, if I'm gonna be smitten, they should remind me of Marissa. That's my rule.
Okay.
No, this this lady
think
that
she
threw out the
believes
first
you.
pitch, she had all the Dodgers on the top step.
So-
Like, she's gorgeous, man. I mean, and she does the little bow, and like, oh my
I
god,
think that's, the cultural
it is a
cultural
cultural thing, but
acceptance.
it's all right for me as a battle scarred American to be like, oh my god, that is, I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, that is what? Wait, go ahead.
It's very
Finish your
it's very-
sentence. Holy
it's
Toledo?
very- yeah, Holy Toledo. It's very.
We have the video, so this is actually pretty cool. And the part of this video that's really neat is watching the Dodgers in the dugout, because they are definitely smitten as well. They
Yeah,
probably followed
this-
her on Instagram.
this
You want to play
lady-
that, John? Or
yeah,
I'm sorry,
she got a lot of
Chris.
followers on
Sorry,
Instagram
Chris.
after that.
John,
Yeah, John,
get in
play
here
that.
and play this.
I apologize. Chris Campbell in charge of the
So
video.
there she is.
There's no audio for this.
She's
by
getting
the way.
ready. It's all right.
You don't need it.
We'll explain it for you, while we're watching. She's like, yeah.
She's turning
See?
around, smiling. She's very cute.
She's like
she's a movie star.
She's a movie star. She's got like a specialty fit dive.
And
And
there's
all the Dodgers are on the top step. Like, holy cow. Like, you never see so much interest in a first pitch.
No.
In the history of MLB.
no.
Yeah, she's
She's got these high socks on.
not a very good pitcher.
I don't think she was there to pitch.
She wasn't. But she's super gorgeous and attractive. And now she has a new Instagram follower.
She here in Hammond, Indiana.
Yeah.
She was in the Netflix series or movie Ballerina last year. So
Really?
if you want to see her in acting,
Really?
that's what she was in. So
Yeah. She was, it's hard to pronounce her name. It's like Jong something.
she is South Korean actress Jeon Jung So.
Oh, it's not that hard.
Whoever
I'm glad you
raked that
pronounced it.
mound did an excellent job. Like, look at that dirt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're not messing
phenomenal.
around in South Korea.
No, dude, they don't mess around in baseball fields anyway. But
Tom and I are watching the pitcher, and Jill is watching the dirt.
Like, you think that's real grass?
I didn't even
Or
notice
is
there
that
was dirt
AstroTurf?
there.
I didn't even know there's a baseball field.
That grass is nicely trimmed as well.
Yeah, right.
Excuse
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. By the way, Dodgers lost yesterday, which is nice.
In a slugfest.
Yeah, and their brand new pitcher. They got this Japanese pitcher that has never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball.
Yamamoto.
before. Yamamoto. It was like the off season. Everybody was going for this guy. He's not throwing one pitch in MLB, right?
Think about it. They got Yamamoto and they got Ohtani.
Right. So they spent $1 billion last year, right? And they and Ohtani's at least a proven,
Oh, yeah.
run
No
producer.
trouble with Ohtani.
He's going to be monumental there. But so Yamamoto comes over. It was his first MLB start yesterday. Shelled 5 runs in the first inning.
Yeah.
$300 million pitcher. I guarantee you, Garrett Cole or any of these other
They're laughing.
MLB
They're
star
like-
pitchers that are paid less than him are laughing at him.
Well,
Like,
maybe not laughing, but like,
No,
man,
I
I'm worth
hope-
more now.
I hope all the pressure of this humongous contract just piles up on the Dodgers and they just start choking. Like, because baseball's a weird sport, man. Just because you pay a lot of money doesn't mean shit.
I
'Cause
agree.
We've seen
There's a
like
lot
the
of
Mets
other
last
factors.
year. Mets last year were the highest.
Well, Dodgers last year.
Dodgers last year. Like, you have a lot of pressure on you when you have $300 million contract, $700 million contract.
This time next week, it'll be full MLB. I mean, obviously, it'll still be NCAA Sweet 16, but Major League Baseball opening day next week.
Is Ohtani the one whose interpreter allegedly?
Yes.
Allegedly.
That's a next week story, Joe.
Well, hold it.
Okay,
Like,
well, let me
no,
shut up
like
then.
what's going on right now is his interpreter was making huge bets on sports.
Yeah, not
Ohtani's
baseball,
inter-
allegedly, but
allegedly.
Was it the interpreter or?
it's,
That's a question.
Good question.
That's a question. That is an interesting question.
Could you
'Cause
imagine if Ohtani gets suspended?
His $700 million contract would get suspended with him.
I
If
agree.
if he was involved in the gambling, they're investigating.
Yep.
If Ohtani's involved, that would be the biggest story of 2024.
Well, they said that there was I don't know how true this is. We're going to get into it next week a little more when more information comes out. They said there was a big wire transfer, $4.5 million out of his account.
Right.
How they know that, I have no idea. The interpreter is saying it was all his fault. I mean, maybe he's
he's gone back
taken
and
the
forth
fall.
with this story too. But
Right.
so
Yep.
I hate the Dodgers. I hate them. Hate that team.
They're not my most hated team.
Well,
I
your
still have
brother
the
lives
Mets.
out there.
The
That's
Mets.
why you're
I'm
hedging.
not.
You're
I
hedging
just,
because you know Matt's
No, I'm
listening.
just saying. Growing up a Cubs fan, I always hated the Mets.
I hate the Dodgers, and I hate the Mets too, for the record.
because they used to be in the same division.
But I want the Dodgers to choke so bad.
yeah, I don't have any.
The only thing Dodgers have done well is their opening pitch. They did really well in that regard.
For the first
Do you
time.
think they picked that one?
Yeah, right. They picked her. Maybe not. Right? Since
They didn't pick her. I'm sure it was
It's all right.
done by the.
But she's wearing a Dodgers outfit.
yeah, maybe they were the home
Were they
team.
the home team? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I bet you they picked her.
Oh,
they
they
were
had
wearing their
white on,
white.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were wearing their white, so they were home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
All right, so this is an interesting story that's coming up, and Monday we'll know more on exactly what happens. But as you know, our former president Donald Trump was the defendant in several lawsuits over this winter, and one of them was the Gene Carroll $85 million judgment against him. He posted bond in that at $93 million, and then he also has the New York fraud case. In which he was, I want to say it's like $355 million, and with interest it's up to $450 million, and so he wants to appeal that, and he's got to come up. I know, think about
He's got
that.
$700-800 million in judgments against him right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and so
I mean, that's almost as bad as your criminal situation. I mean, he has multiple criminal trials he's facing, but
that's your freedom. But
hundreds
this
of
is your
millions of
fiscal.
dollars.
Yeah,
you're getting squeezed on every end you have.
yeah, and I think maybe it's important for people to understand why there's this bond needed, right? So if you have a money judgment against you, like a civil judgment like he now has, you have to pay that. You can the plaintiff can start collecting in 30 days usually after the judgment, okay? Mm-hmm. So what he's doing is he's like, hey, I want to appeal this. But to do that, you don't get to get out of your obligation, because if you have to post a bond, you have to say, here's money while I appeal it that's set over here. So if I lose the appeal, you can take my money.
Right.
Otherwise,
and you're paying interest too.
Sure you are.
Right.
You're paying. And by the way, the other thing that's happening is if you don't post a bond, that allows the plaintiff to go ahead and execute on the judgment, which means the Attorney General in New York could say,
right,
I'm going to take Trump Tower.
Right.
I'm going to go take this building.
He's paying interest on hundreds of millions of dollars, which
Yeah,
I read somewhere yesterday. It's like
it's usually 8%. In Indiana, it's 8%.
I want to say his
judgment.
judgment on the New York case alone is like a couple $100,000 a day.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Every day.
Yep.
Like a couple $100,000 he owes.
I read the same thing.
Just in interest. That's
just in interest.
Outside of the judgment.
It's going along, right? And so, and you can imagine if you're a bond company, like Chubb posted the $91 million bond for him, or I'm sorry, $91 million bond, you're going to have to give the surety or the insurance company collateral, right? They're not just going to be like, oh, sure, we'll post $91 million.
Trump's got such a good record with paying his bills.
That, and if he loses the appeal, that bond gets collected.
Right.
So
but like if you were like giving him
up,
$90 million and you're like, this guy he welches all the time.
Right. You're going to want a first creditor mortgage or
when
first
you say
mortgage.
Welsh, is that anti-Irish?
Welch? I think it's Welch.
I mean, I'm Polish,
not
so
Welsh.
you can say whatever you
Welsh.
want.
Okay.
Welch.
Welch. If you welch on it.
Yeah, if you Welch. So it's not Welsh.
Okay, it sounds anti-Irish.
Also, I don't think
Why
that's
wouldn't
Irish.
that be anti-Welsh?
I don't know.
That would be
Yeah,
Welsh.
anti-Welsh. Yeah.
Why would it
I
be?
guess it is
Why would
anti-Welsh.
it be?
All right, it's anti-something. Right? Yeah.
But you're saying Welch.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Trump's got some issues, and he actually went out to his supporters asking them for $20 at a time to try to make up $100 million.
Fucking carpetbagger.
Dude, this guy, honestly, like I heard recently that Trump's got a huge payday coming. And I know we were doing some
talking
research.
about this.
I'm telling you, I read a lot, especially about finance stuff. And one thing that Trump's got going for him in the positive for his finances is he's got this Truth Social that I know John Vesmar is probably logged into right now. But Truth Social is just like Facebook, just like Twitter, just like any other social media. It's a social media platform.
Is he the owner?
He's the owner.
Oh.
I think he's over a 50% owner in Truth Social, and they're going public. And when they go public, just like Reddit yesterday went public, and everybody made billions of dollars.
Reddit went public yesterday.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So, like, Truth Social is going public very shortly, and when it goes public, I heard that he's going to be like $3 billion worth of positive income.
Is he? Are they going public because of this, or was this already planned?
Well, I mean,
Great question.
no, I'm sure he needs some money. It's like the
He's
guy
probably like, hey, man, let's go public.
let's go public with this bad boy. It's a really, when you think about it, when you got the clout that a former president has, and you start your own social media company,
platform. Yeah.
and then you get all your people to buy into it, you got automatic users right off the bat, which is the hardest thing to get, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm private.
Just like with gym shoes.
Yeah. Well, I think Truth Social.
Universities.
Gym shoes. I don't really, when I think of Trump, I don't think of gym shoes.
No.
like
you don't
slamming.
think of gold lame gym shoes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
Getting your degree from
so Donald Trump,
University.
he's getting squeezed on both ends. He's got the finances getting squeezed by New York and E. Jean Carroll squeezing him, which is appropriate because he squeezed her and she's squeezing him back.
Yeah, and I thought the funny thing on Truth Social, he put, Letitia James is the New York Attorney General, and he posted something that said in caps, keep your filthy hands off Trump Tower. All caps.
Right.
And I also, by the way, interestingly enough, his campaign's getting outraised by Biden right now, so he's got all kinds of stuff going on. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens Monday. So keep an eye on that.
All right. This it seems like Lockpot has been a place where you tune into for your Sphere updates. Sphere had U2, the Sphere in Las Vegas. For those of you, it's I think a $2 billion development. It's a venue for music. It's state of the art, world class. They hosted U2 in a 5-month, 40-show residency, and they're wrapping that up right now. I think they played their last show or are about to play their last show.
U2's still there?
Yeah.
I thought it was over.
They were there a lot more frequently than they are now, but I think they have 1 or 2 shows left.
Okay. Gosh, I thought they were gone.
Up. Right, and then
Fish is coming up, right?
Fish is coming up in April. I'm going to be able to go see that, which is wonderful. Marissa and I are going to go check out Fish in the Sphere, and I'll be able to come back and report.
Ooh,
it would be
season
break.
12. We're going to hear all about the Sphere.
Yeah, I'll come back and give you guys an update in season 12. That'll be during break when that happens, and then after that, we got The Dead. We've talked about that on the show. Dead and Company is going to do they're doing more shows, by the way. They added all the way through the rest of the summer. So they're playing the whole summer. The Dead will be playing at the Sphere.
In the desert.
And then we just got a new announcement yesterday about another band that's going to have a residency. It's strong rumor right now. Nothing confirmed, but this is how The Dead started.
Yeah.
It's strong rumor, and then it was confirmed. Have you heard this yet, guys?
No.
Chris?
What
I think you'll be
genre?
interested in this. It's rock, classic rock. I know Jill
Wow,
doesn't
this
get
is like silence. I was like, there's
this.
dead air. Like,
It's a good one.
Tell
It's
us.
a real, think about it.
Tell
the
us.
Sphere
I
is
have
going to
not heard
want
of it.
like a high-profile band that's going to attract people that got go because it's not cheap tickets. It's really expensive tickets, actually. The Eagles.
Oh.
That's a good one, right?
who of
I
the
mean-
Eagles is dead? Glenn Fry?
Glenn Fry. Is that it?
I don't know. I got to look. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I've seen them in concert a couple times.
Yeah, I
They're
think we saw 'em
spectacular.
together.
They're spectacular. They
It's a
really
nice
are.
catalog of music.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good show. That'll be a really good show. I'm probably gonna have to go see them again. And I mean, I'm
Tom's
gonna be
going to
like,
have a
hey-
residency in Vegas.
And I don't like to gamble. Really, I don't really like
I
Vegas
agree.
that much.
I've been to Vegas with
I
you, and you have
agree.
not. You don't gamble.
right?
I don't like Vegas.
I go for the food. I go for the pool. Right. So you'll never catch me there in December.
It's overrated.
It is, but the pool scene is the shit.
That's also not my thing.
Really, I like the pool just because it's 100 degrees but
Always fun, nice.
yeah, I'm
have a
looking
drink,
forward.
have a pina colada.
I am looking forward to The Dead. I'm looking forward to Fish, and if the Eagles go there, I will be there for
at
sure.
that.
Yeah, I love the Eagles.
Mayor Tom's residency
Yeah,
in Las Vegas.
it's good. It's a good reason to go. I mean, if you're a music person, shit, why not go to? It's the best venue in the world.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the experience of the Sphere. I
Me
want to
too.
check it out. I can't imagine what the Dead's going to be like there.
We have a previous show on Lockpot
falling
that-
out.
If you want to know where to sit in the Sphere, people are still getting fooled by that. You get these 100 level tickets, you pay $1,500, and you think you got a good seat, and then you realize there's the
Balcony
second
or
floor
something.
right over the top of you.
Yeah, and you can't see the roof.
Suckers.
It happens
I've heard
a
about
lot.
that.
People are getting pissed about it. You see TikToks about it. Where
Oh,
people are
really?
just like they're pissed about it, but it's like you got to research it.
Yeah.
Because you think if you get a 100, those are usually the best seats you can get. If it 100s, if it's like row 17 or behind it, you're covered.
Yeah, so I would say think of if you've been to Wrigley Field, think
Yeah.
about the 200 level when you're
Right.
you can't see the fly ball
Right.
to
It's
the
same
outfield
thing.
because you're
if
under
you're
the,
too far back in
yeah.
the 100s, it's the same thing at the Sphere.
Yep.
So are those listed as like restricted views?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yep.
do your research.
Yep, you do. Yeah, but usually people just buy a ticket and they're not looking at that stuff, and they're paying
That's their own fault.
$900 for a ticket, and they're like, "This has got to be a great ticket. It's $900."
Right.
But the good tickets are $1,300. The $900 tickets are covered. So, all right. Well, hey, Mayor Tom on the road, sort of this week. I was on a panel with all mayors this week.
Yeah, that was a really cool panel. I
and one
thought.
councilman, but
And one
the councilman,
councilman.
he's like the lead councilman. It's Sean Pettit from
Been around
Maryville.
forever.
Yeah, we got elected at the same time, actually. So Sean Pettit was on there representing Maryville, but we had Gary's mayor, Eddie Melton, was on there. Pete Land from the city of Crown Point was on there, and Josh Huddleston, who's been a Lockpotter. Eddie and Josh have both been on Lockpot, actually.
They have.
Yeah, but Josh was on there. He's the mayor of Hobart. Of course, he dropped an age-related joke towards me right off the bat. He always does that shit.
He likes
He's
that.
Holy
like,
Toledo.
Holy Toledo. I know. Like, That sounds like a Batman phrase.
It does.
A Robin.
I think it is.
Holy Toledo.
I think it is.
Yeah. Gee Willikers.
Gee Willikers.
Yeah.
Holy Toledo, Batman.
But yeah, it was a good panel. I dropped a turd in the punch bowl, of course, but everybody is like blowing each other on there. Everybody's like talking about it, and I love it. I love the region. I love where I live. I'm proud of Indiana.
Well, it's an economic development breakfast, so everyone, of course, is touting economic development,
and it's all success
positive.
Stories.
Sure,
it's all like everything's great,
well,
everything's perfect, everything is wonderful. We are the best. We're like patting each other on the back.
And you brought it back down to reality.
Like, all right, enough of this patting each other on the back bullshit.
Enough of all this positivity.
So I dropped the school issue and just how, like, despite all the positive stuff we're doing, our schools are a wreck in Indiana, and we're laying teachers off, and we're shutting schools down, and we're sitting here complimenting each other and talking about how great we are and how great Indiana is, and we're laying off teachers.
Well, I think you said this, and I think how you kind of brought it into where we were that morning was you said, listen, when companies are looking to relocate and companies are looking for economic development with hundreds of jobs, you said they also look at the schools.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at industrial areas, like East Chicago, Gary, Hammond, the northern cities, the older cities in our county, those school systems have challenges.
Yeah. I was talking about specific cities, and I wasn't trying to like pinpoint them and like say I was talking about successful cities like Crown Point and Hobart and Valparaiso, and I'm like, just because you moved to Valparaiso or Hobart or Crown Point and your school system's great doesn't mean that everything in the region's great, because schools in Gary, Hammond, and East Chicago are struggling, and the kids are like the poverty levels are unimaginable, and the product they're putting out is not a great product all the time, and we're literally laying off teachers and closing down schools in these parts of our county,
which is crazy. So
like if I, Marissa and I, we could move anywhere we want in the region, just like you, Kevin. And if Marissa and I moved to Crown Point or Valparaiso, and all of a sudden everything's great, right? All of a sudden our schools are perfect, and we just ignore Gary and ignore Hammond and ignore East Chicago. Fuck those places, right? I'm down here in Crown Point, and fuck those places. That's their problem, and I got my own issue, and that is not a healthy attitude. That is not going to be successful in the long run, and that's all I was trying to point out.
And I think that's the thing that I really dislike most about, and I think it's just inherent sometimes with people when they move away from somewhere, they want to confirm that they made the right decision. So they think to themselves like, oh, yeah, I left Hammond behind. I made such a great decision to move down here to St. John. I'm not trying to rip St. John. I'm just using it as an example. And I think you have an obligation to like your hometown or the place you grew up, or so keep that in mind. I mean, that's one of the reasons I think I've stayed put. Outside of the fact that I love the city and I love where I'm at, and I love helping, and being active in city government, thanks to you. And but there's something about making sure that the whole region is doing well. And I thought when Mayor Eddy said, hey, one of the things I want you to take away from here is combat the negativity that you hear about Gary. Talk about the positives. And I think that was a good message too.
Yeah. So it was a good meeting, and I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad I said what I said. And so we had the first day, which was Thursday morning, we all wake up, and we had the mayors make a pitch on economic development.
You guys had little PowerPoint slides.
Right?
And
so I was like, okay. I got away with it. I was like, I said some crazy shit.
It was all very positive.
It was all super positive article. I'm like, whew, okay, that's good. I like dropped a bar
Article
in the middle of
2.
this, and then today I wake up and headline above the fold: our education system is in a shambles.
In quotes.
Is in shambles or in
our
a
education
shamble?
system is in shambles.
Yeah.
McDermott blames suburban exodus for Hammond school woes.
And they quoted me word for word.
Yeah.
It was a good little rant. And I'm glad they put it up there, and I'm glad people are reading this. And I hope the governor reads it, and I hope the supermajority reads it. And it's like, if we want to be a successful state, we're not going to get there by cutting teachers and shutting down schools and making sure our poorest residents are getting an inferior education. That's not the answer.
And like you brought up when you brought up that in the breakfast and in the meeting and in the article, the referendum, the situation with referendums, where you have to go back in 7 years and re-vote again and assume that the taxpayers are going to go ahead and always support the schools.
If they voted in once, it should be in, because you're going to hire. If I'm a superintendent and you approve a referendum and you give me $15 million in my budget, I'm going to hire teachers. And then if you turn around and pull the rug out from under me 7 years later, and then everybody gets pissed off at me because I have to lay off teachers, that makes no fucking sense at all. That makes no sense. Like, you give me money for teachers, I hire teachers, and then you take it away. Who are you going to get mad at? The superintendent?
You're not going to get mad at the state.
It doesn't make sense. Get mad at the freaking state. They're the ones that are screwing us. No, it's because we don't understand it. So what do? We look at a guy like Scott Miller and say, you're the one.
Yep.
No, it's not him.
You wasted our money.
It is not him. It is the state that's screwing Hammond, in this case, Gary, Muncie, anywhere there's poor people and a public school system, they're looking to screw us.
It's the way the system is set up in Indiana. I think you even said, yeah, Illinois is a high-tax state, but you don't see them laying off teachers.
That's right. That's right. So you don't see the exodus out of Illinois, So.
All right, well, let's do some ads. Come back. We're going to do Mayor Tiff real quick, and then we're going to have Ellen Kapitan, newly elected Democratic Councilwoman from Valparaiso.
All right. I'm looking forward to this interview. I really
am.
I'm specifically requested it. I'm glad she took it. I'm looking forward to her coming in the studio. So let's go ahead and remind you again that we're coming to you live from the Powering Indiana NECA IBEW Powering Indiana Lake County Studios. IBEW Local 697 and NECA proudly bring you to Powering Indiana Lake County. With over a century of experience, they've been safely wiring the region. From powering corporations along the lakefront to lighting up homes across Lake County, Powering Indiana Lake County is your trusted source for electrical professionals. Excuse me, I keep on hiccuping. Join them as they continue to light the way for Northwest Indiana. Visit Powering Indiana Lake County at poweringindiana.org.
Holy Toledo. Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With a 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team, led by Rick Baltonsberger, combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today. Misprint, your partner for creating impactful visual solutions.
Calumet Brewing, it's time to experience Michelob Ultra with only 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and 4.2% ABV, the perfect way to start 2024 and keep those resolutions in check. It doesn't matter if you're kicking back after a workout, hitting a pickup game at the park, or heading out to a day on the slopes. Be sure to enjoy a superior light beer that's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra is brewed to be a complement to your healthy lifestyle. Head over to the Calumet Brewery or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for details on this great family of beers. Enjoy the Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
For decades, the Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Agency has been your trusted neighbor right on the Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all your insurance needs. Their wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, and life insurance, has helped over 1,000 individuals and businesses throughout the Chicagoland and Midwest area. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters most to you, and we are literally in the process of working with Ron right now to renew our insurance. So
yes,
and that's not the easiest thing in the world. So thank you, Ron, for helping LockPod get reinsured.
No one wants us?
I mean, they want most of us to be insured. They want, they're not worried about.
Really? It's
you, because I'm here every once in a while.
It is you, Chris. They're like, that guy comes in every once in a while.
There's one problem child here, but we're not going to name who that person is.
Who could it be? Well, like we get an insurance company and we promptly get sued. So, yeah, they're like if I got a auto insurance and then wrap my car around a telephone pole the next day, they'd probably be
that
like,
wasn't the actuarial table didn't work for them.
They're like, I think you're a shitty driver. I'm not sure if we're gonna reinsure you, right? So
Ron will take care of us.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, Tortillas Nuevo Leon sets the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for their iconic red and white label at your local grocery store. Indulge in the finest Mexican products crafted with local expertise and savor the taste of authenticity. Discover the flavors of Tortillas Nuevo Leon today.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
All right.
Welcome back to the second segment of LockPod, Season 11, Episode 22, coming from Powering Indiana Lake County Studios.
So this segment, we're going to cover Mayor Tiff, and then when we come back next segment, we're going to have Ellen Kapitan, the great councilwoman from the city of Valparaiso. We're going to talk to her a little bit about what's going on in Valparaiso, and not just that, I love the dynamic between this progressive council and a very conservative mayor. So
yeah, I can't wait to hear about it.
Right.
But so yesterday I was at dinner, and the waitress came over and said, "Hey, I haven't heard anything about Mayor Tiff lately." And I was like,
Here you go.
Well,
here you go.
Guess what? Listen tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow on Spotify, Stitcher, and Apple Pod and
were you
iHeartRadio. Yeah, and she was
Look
like,
at me.
"What's up with Mayor Tiff Tiff? I got to hear more about Mayor Tiff Tiff."
Well,
And I didn't
good.
even call her Mayor Tiff Tiff. I just say Mayor Tiff. But
Well, Mayor Tiff is going viral. I did like a few screenshots of just like, and then we have a story we want to cover, but this is just, if you're a mayor and you're going viral, usually you're happy. Because mayors going viral is like, people are paying attention. I'm doing good work here in Hammond. My shit is going viral. It's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. If you're going viral for the wrong reasons, though, like, so this is, I just went down, I did 3 screenshots on Mayor Tiffany
we've
Henry.
got him up.
Okay. And
This
this
is
is like,
crazy.
I'm just going to read off the headlines. And this is just in the last 3 days. This is literally like the last 3 days of headlines.
Like, man, why can't I get pressed like that?
Okay, this is press. All right. I don't know if she likes this press. Chicago Tribune, 3 former employees sue Dalton Mayor, alleged retaliation. Southland Journal, Tiffany Henyard in federal custody, according to reports. Southland Journal, police chief says no one in custody at the department. Okay. Fox 32 Chicago, new sexual assault complaint may have ties to Dalton Mayor. Right. Keep on going. CBS News, South Suburban Chicago mayor sued by ex-employee. Fox News, controversial Democratic mayor under investigation after wild tirades, police raids, lavish spending. NDTV, U.S. police investigate super mayor Tiffany Henyard for corruption, abuse of power. New York Post, embattled Dalton dictator Tiffany Henyard accused of misusing funds for lavish trips and
That
$1
sounds like a
million.
New York Post title, doesn't it? Or headline.
Right. Fox 32
Embattled
Chicago.
Dalton dictator.
I like it.
Yeah.
Embattled Dalton dictator.
A Dalton dictator. I think
Right?
that's nice.
Fox 32 Chicago, new sexual assault complaint may have ties to Dalton Mayor. ABC Chicago, Dalton Mayor scandal, 3 former employees sue Tiffany Henyard. The Road, horrifying new allegations emerge against Illinois Mayor Tiffany Henyard. WGN TV, Dalton Mayor retaliated against opponents, according to 3 new lawsuits. New York Post, that's the Dalton dictator one. That's just in the last 3 days.
No, that's a different headline, but they
Oh,
like
was
the
it?
embattled Dalton dictator.
They like the nickname too.
Yeah.
So they use
Oh,
it again.
gotcha. Tiffany Henyard accused of trying to silence sexual assault accuser.
I mean, that's just like off your phone, by the way. That's like 3 screenshots from your phone.
Yeah, we did that in pre-show.
Whoa.
This is like all going on right now. This lady is, this is a small little town in Illinois. This literally like
20,000.
1/3 the size of Hammond.
Yeah, 1/4.
This chick is out of control.
Everywhere.
She's out of control.
Man, Mayor Tiff making
What
the
the
news.
hell is she thinking? She's going down, dude.
I don't know. We're gonna find out. That's what the excitement about it. Season 12. We'll find out what else is going on with Mayor Tiff.
Does she think this is positive? She's like,
I
I'm
don't
everywhere. You see, I'm everywhere. Yeah, you're everywhere. You're going down, dude.
If you didn't listen to, I wish I knew the episode number, season 11, episode 18 or 17 or something like that, we had 2 of our former chief of staffs in here to talk, and they were very interesting.
They were great guests.
Yeah, that was interesting. We've had a very big Mayor Tiff season.
Season 11 is the season of Tiffany.
People like Todd Rokita are like happy Mayor Tiff took over because now we're not talking about Todd Rokita.
Todd Rokita got bumped. If I was Tiffany, I would have the light blue colors for her,
Yeah,
though.
absolutely.
Right?
The
Oh.
Tiffany blue.
She was dropping the ball.
You're
in this.
right.
Right?
I get it. Tiffany blue.
It doesn't make sense to me, Tiffany.
She's more of a dark blue.
Yeah. Go with the light blue. It's just like reinforcing
I like
the
how you're
brand.
like consulting for her.
I am. I'm trying to help
Consulting
her.
the
Like,
brand.
She needs help right now, dude.
Mayor Tiff, go with the Tiffany blue.
I don't
She
think
is-
the blue's gonna
The light
solve
blue?
any problems.
Yeah, she should wear it in court.
So amazingly enough, even after Tom read all those headlines, we
got a
have
new
one
one.
that wasn't even on there.
All right, what is this one?
So here is Mayor Tiff has hired a convicted sex offender as a code enforcement officer.
Oh, Jesus.
That's hey, everybody gets their day, right?
All right. Well, you know,
he served
as
his
she
time.
mentioned,
He served his time.
As she mentioned, he served his debts to society, and everyone should get a second chance.
That's
what
right.
She said.
So he should be allowed in your house.
That's what.
Of course.
Well, he does. Part of his duties are to go in people's homes.
Of
as
course,
a,
code enforcement.
So, Mr. Lavelle Redmond, spent a long time in prison for a conviction, or maybe he pled guilty. I'm not sure. Conviction of a gang rape of 2 young girls. He's been released. He's friends with Mayor Tiff.
I mean,
Gave
gang
him a second
rapists deserve their day. Also,
Everybody has paid their debt.
yeah.
And Redmond was cited for not registering as a sex offender after a Fox 32 news story as well. So that's
Well, if you register as a sex offender, it's harder to get jobs with Mayor Tiff.
I think
I mean-
maybe
Is
she didn't
it?
know.
I don't
Is it
know.
though?
I don't know. I don't know if it is actually.
So here's a short video. It's about a minute long of this article about Mayor Tiff and Mr. Lavelle Redmond.
God.
46-year-old Lavelle Redmond is close friends with Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who in September hired Redmond as a code enforcement officer without the village board's approval. Redmond served 25 years in prison for the brutal gang rape and beating of 2 young teenage girls in the 1990s and was arrested and charged after our first story aired for violating the reporting requirements of the sex offender registry. But Mayor Henyard says her friend deserves a second chance, infuriating a number of Dalton residents.
Dalton is going to go down if these people they just need to get out of office as a whole.
You'd like to see them.
Do they need a recall on the mayor?
Fox 32 has also obtained this cell phone video showing Redmond interacting with the mayor and little children at a back-to-school event in Dalton. Notice the badge on his waist.
I think it's deplorable that you've hired a person that has the history that he does, and you've given him a badge and a car to roam our village.
The protesters are also calling for the departure.
That's good, Chris.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
That blows my mind.
It's something. I mean, here, what I would say is this. Look, everybody does. I mean, if you have served your debt and you are not a danger to society, and you deserve it, absolutely. I want you to read. There's a lot of jobs in city government that don't necessarily mean that you are in people's homes or knocking on people's doors by yourself. I mean, there's all kinds of different jobs, and I think that was her mistake. Not necessarily giving him a job, but giving him a job that is more public as far as like interaction with the public.
And they also said they hired her without the support of the council. I mean, mayors typically, when you hire somebody, you don't need support of the
I
council.
saw that too. I didn't think anything of that.
No, they
It's
just say that to make her look bad. But the fact is, once the budget's approved and, the spot is, budgeted for, you could hire anybody.
You don't have to go to the council and say, can I hire Kevin to do this?
Right.
No, or Jill or Chris. Or
But if I hired a convicted sex offender, you have to answer to the public and to the council, I'm sure. But, nobody's going to be happy with that.
No.
You got to bring in quality people.
So does the public have any kind of recourse?
No. They get voted out of office.
But
they got to wait until 2025.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Or no, was it this year?
Unless she gets arrested or something, right? I mean,
she'd have to get
removed from
felony,
office.
Felony.
Yeah.
Like if she gets,
I don't know.
I don't know what the rule is in Illinois.
Her hiring him, though. I mean,
what?
In her hiring him, do they have any recourse to say,
no,
no? He's a sex offender and he's going to be in.
They should have laws. Honestly, there should be state laws that say, but there's not. I don't even think Indiana has one that says it's just.
Well, whatever the registry is, right? Like you can't live within 1,000 feet of a home or a school or this, or not a home, of a church or a school. Maybe it's just a school.
But still, if I hired a sex offender in Hammond,
yeah,
I don't know if there's recourse against me.
No, I mean, God forbid he did something wrong, you could sue the city.
It's just common sense for me not to hire a sex offender. And if I was going to hire a sex offender, not that I'm open-minded on this, but if I was, certainly wouldn't be in code enforcement. I'd probably put him in IT and let Chris deal with him.
With the rest
Isn't
of
that
us.
what you did?
We keep him isolated.
You said it. I was coming, but
Tiffany.
Tiffany, self-deprecating humor is much better.
I do it all the time.
Well,
Chris,
we love Mayor Tiff, and we want her to keep making news so we can.
We're talking about the IT, and we have a Tiffany in IT also.
Oh,
so we
good
gotta be
point.
very
She
clear.
hates it.
She is the.
She's
Oh,
like, I wish they'd
yeah.
Stop calling her Mayor Tiff.
Oh man, sorry, Tiff.
I got to start doing that.
The real Tiff.
Yeah, the real Tiff.
Well,
Yeah.
why not? We're going to do ads. Mayor's going to read the first ad, and he's going to go get our guest. And Jill now finish up ads. We're going to be back in just a sec after ads with Councilwoman Ellen Kapitan from Valparaiso.
Stick around. This young lady's going to be a great guest. She worked real hard in a Republican town.
Or what was considered a Republican
It
town.
is
I think
Republican.
it's changing. Purple.
It's Republican. I think she'll. I don't know. Okay, we'll ask Ellen what she thinks.
Can't wait.
She worked real hard in what was traditionally a very Republican town and won a seat on the council. Not just her, got a majority on the council with
5-2.
a bunch of progressive Democrats, and now they're driving
It's
the mayor
such an
crazy.
interesting story to me.
Yeah, that's.
I can't wait to hear.
Interesting. So,
Stay tuned.
all right, let's start off with MCR Partners. Are you seeking expertise in economic development, finance, and planning? Look no further than MCR Partners, your go-to professionals for comprehensive solutions. Their dedicated team is ready to assess your opportunities and ensure the successful completion of your projects. Discover the difference MCR Partners can make in navigating the intricacies of economic development. Stay informed and connected by visiting our website at mcrpartnersllc.com. For personalized assistance, reach out to Matt Reardon at 219-741-9511. And I'm pretty sure MCR Partners has another partner. Bill Baker, I think, is working with them now. He indicated to me that him and Matt are teaming up, and that's two smart guys working.
It's interesting.
So if you're interested, MCR
Very
Partners,
interesting.
741-9511.
How does he feel about the English?
We'll find out.
By the way, I think, for the record, Matt felt really bad about that last show. He felt really bad about that. I called him and he was like, "Are you guys upset with me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not upset with you, dude. Like, we were just trying to, we have a fan. We like this fan, and we're just trying to keep him in the fold, and we were just doing a little damage control. So,
but you'll never be back on to defend yourself.
Yeah,
Matt.
Right. No, Matt will be back on.
Oh, he'll be back.
Matt, the reason Matt's a good guest is he's not afraid to go for it.
That is one thing that is true. He
goes
not
for it.
afraid,
and that's the thing.
Fearless.
Yeah. So Matt will be back. Looking forward to it too.
Byway Brewing, a family-friendly microbrewery, welcomes you to their spacious tap room and outdoor patio. Enjoy award-winning craft beer, a chef-driven menu, and craft draft cocktails. Their unique brewing equipment and production facility provide a perfect backdrop for private events, whether it's a bridal shower, reunion, or corporate party. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. Customer service is their top priority at Byway Brewing, just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Kuklakis Law. Are you currently navigating complex legal challenges, unsure of where to turn for guidance? Your search ends here with Kuklakis Law, your trusted partner for legal solutions in Indiana and Illinois. Whether you're seeking expert legal representation for real estate transactions, need assistance in forming your business, or have experienced a personal injury at work or in a car crash, Kuklakis Law is here for you. No matter the nature of your legal issue, our team is ready to help. Call us today at 219-671-6347 to schedule your free consultation. Hablamos Español.
Rogers Roofing. When you demand nothing but the best for your home and family, trust the industry leader, Rogers Roofing. For over 54 years, they've been transforming homes in Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. Their commitment to quality shines through in their roofing, siding, gutters, and windows, all backed by the most comprehensive warranties in the business. Visit their website at rogersroofing.com or call 219-933-9145 to schedule your free consultation. That's rogersroofing.com, 219-933-9145. At Rogers Roofing, we expect nothing less than excellence every time. Thanks to our sponsors, and welcome back to the Power in Indiana Lake County Studios.
All right. Proud to have in studio Councilwoman from the city of Valparaiso, first-term Councilwoman, right, Ellen?
First term.
Ellen Kapitan. Kapitan, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
All right, why don't you pull the microphone up? So these things are a little sensitive if you pull it close. So congratulations. Welcome to Lockpod.
Thanks for having
welcome.
me.
And thank you for bringing a nice pink water jug in with us.
It's my girl power.
I like
reusable.
that. You're showing it right there. Just bringing that in.
I started doing the Stanley Cup thing. I'm really proud of myself.
It makes a huge difference.
I like it. It does. First off, I do drink a lot of water, so I'm not cranking out plastic waste every time.
Good.
And secondly,
look at this. You are just going right into the progressive wing of our party.
Dude,
You're like, oh, Ellen's here. I'm going to talk about.
Progressive. My reusable straw.
I have a reusable straw also. Mine's a big black, and it's really cool looking.
You're such a show off.
I bought it for my wife. I bought it. I just jumped up full of force within the last couple months too. So thanks, Ellen.
We are really excited to have you. And we are looking forward to this.
I've been talking about you guys since you won, and I was like, well, Councilman Cotton and I we've met a couple times, and I know the mayor of Valpo because the mayors all know each other. Well, when Councilman Cotton won, I was like, wow,
cool,
a Democrat won in Valpo. That's something you don't see every day. And then Mayor Murphy and I are friends. We're in Friendly Sons together, and I know that he was he quit after one term, and then. You have a whole new wing. Of
he tried to run for council and lost.
Did, right.
To these guys.
It's amazing.
These gals.
We have a whole crew in Valparaiso that runs for council. Progressive Democrats. Is that accurate?
I would identify as
you for sure.
Progressive.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I would think, a lot of people that are from the region would think in Valparaiso, the conservative Republican wing is going to win. The mayor is going to win. The council is going to be Republican. And then you all won.
I think we brought out a lot that people were looking for and hadn't been seeing in the past at least 4 years.
Uh-huh.
And there was some really big changes that had been going on in the city that were pretty obvious. And so people liked having, I think, the choice to get to know new people, hear from people that maybe don't usually run for office.
Uh-huh.
And we brought out a lot of political energy or new time political
energy.
I
can see that
without a doubt. What made you that's all right. Get those. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things, right? The headphones. What made you decide okay, I'm running? Like, what was that moment where you said, all right, I'm going to run?
Like the end of December 2022, and I was like, someone else is surely going to run.
Really? Oh, really? It was just you didn't see people stepping up?
A little bit of that. A little bit I had considered. I've been involved with community organizations, nonprofits, progressive agendas.
Good for you.
And so I never really saw myself as a politician. I don't know if a lot of people do. And then you're kind of put in a situation where people had been asking if like, hey, will you do it? And one, I was honored. What a compliment. Sure. And then I was like, I don't really know a lot about politics. Like I follow national. I only had just recently started following our local city politics. And then it kind of came to a point of like, if not me, who else?
Is it a district or is it citywide?
I'm at large.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you won the whole city. They all elected you. Look at you. You brought it. You're like, I'm not. That is so cool. And
that is really cool.
And did you?
That's a hard thing to do. In a town like Valpo, a city like Valpo, to win citywide, you got to be. I mean, honestly, like I'm a mayor. Obviously, you know that, and I know who to watch out for in my city. You watch out for certain people. Certain people are, like police chiefs, for instance. They run for mayor. So I'm always like aware of my police chief because they're a powerful person. They're known citywide.
They're coming for your job,
right? No, my police chief's not, and but they support me. But like city clerks, at large,
they're very smart,
at large council people. These are the people who can run for mayor. I'm just saying.
I tell a lot of people, I just started January.
Costas is like,
Tom, I'm 70-some days in. I'm not running for mayor.
Ellen, you and me need to talk.
I'm just getting through our first little quarter. I'm learning so much.
What has been the kind of I was just wondering, when someone goes from like active citizen or active resident to elected official, what's been to you the biggest either wake-up call or surprise or interesting part about being an elected official?
What I'll say, one of the best things is like the ease of getting information now.
Oh, right.
Like the boss now.
Yeah, I know who to go to. So
and they can't say no, and if they say no, it's a problem because you got a council meeting.
And I say, do you know who I am?
That's right.
He's like, I've been waiting to say, do you know who I am?
We know who you are.
So I think finding that information and getting that perspective from whether it's the department heads or employees or other people that had been involved has been really the neat part. I am such a curious just person in general. I've got more of like a scientific background with like more of a dreamy approach, like just like curiosity of
scientific,
like,
dreamy approach.
Yeah. So scientific because I don't particularly dabble with like your lab results, things like that, science, but more of curiosity, asking questions, finding information, seeing how everything fits in together, finding creative solutions. That's what I like. So I hope I'm bringing
I'm sure you are,
more
Ellen.
of like that discussion-based, question-based learning experience for everybody, not just me on council. I really what I ran on and what I'm hoping to bring is that approachability, that curiosity of wanting to learn more, getting that information. Once you can learn or feel like you're invited to learn, then you can be more involved and make big changes.
I saw a quote in the paper that said that I think this is a quote. We campaigned against a city government that is operated without transparency and without being held accountable to residents. These simple actions that you're going to institute will begin the process of restoring trust in how the council operates. So when you were running,
you got quoted on Lockpod.
We did our research.
We did our research.
I have a scientific interest with a dreamy. What was it? I got to remember how to. Yes. All right, play it back. All right. But I mean, when you campaigned? What was that like issue? Because I know that you've campaigned on transparency and being more open and make sure residents know what's going on. So what was the issues that you saw when you were running that made you say, we got to do something different?
There were a few, and it depends on the day which one I recall first, to really say that was like the starting point for me. Some days I think it was just after COVID, I found that I had time to pay attention more to city government.
Right. Yeah.
As everyone probably did, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on at the
We would have meetings, and I would have hundreds of people watching it. Hundreds
Yeah.
watching the same.
When you did the COVID updates, it was over 1,000.
Yeah,
think about that. We've never had like
numbers
1,000
like
people
we could
watching.
Never get even Lockpot can't get close to that.
Oh, I only
Like-
signed up because I thought you had thousands.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're gonna get up and leave. Oh, we have thousands. Believe
Never
me.
mind.
No, we do have thousands that listen to the show streaming though. I mean, we have tons. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we have our sponsors are listening. Come on.
Maybe.
The show is
Maybe.
great. So one of the things after or during COVID, we had ARPA funding, like many municipalities had, and I had hoped for like a bigger process of trying to figure out where can we fill gaps that we wouldn't normally be able to
Gotcha.
fill. And in years following that, I have used the term like, oh, too bad we didn't have a couple $1 million fall out of the sky for something like this. But that was kind of I don't want to call it a red flag, but it was noticeable on how.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
So do you think that you guys have millions made available to you? There's a couple, few, whatever it was that Valpo got, and then the administration had their plan for how it was spent, and it didn't really.
That's what it felt
involve.
like.
Gotcha.
That's
It's
what
like,
it
hey,
felt
this is what
like.
we're spending it on
Yeah.
instead of. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and I was glad to see that there was so much sent to different nonprofits. Great, but in the grand scheme of things, the amount that people were given was like a drop in the bucket, you know. And then we're finding out other projects that need to happen. And again, if only we had a couple $1 million.
Right.
So before you came in, Tom and I were talking about kind of like Valpo and a little bit about Valpo, and I kind of called it purple. Tom called it, he thought it was more red. How do you see Valpo politically?
I lived in Valpo for a few years, actually.
Yep.
I lived in. I worked in Valpo for a long time. I worked for NIPSCO over there, right across from the airport.
Oh, nice.
For years, I love Valpo. I've been watching Valpo. When I worked there, it was '90s, and it was smaller than it is now. And now when I go there, it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
amazing
there's a lot
city.
going on.
It's an amazing city.
I'd tell you,
There's
it's
a
a
lot going on.
total university town now. Like the main drag is that the one that goes right by the school is Lincoln Way.
Lincoln Way, yep.
It's gorgeous, and it's total like that was an area I frequented.
I still
a
love
lot.
downtown's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you guys are lucky. You have a beautiful downtown.
We've
It's
got a
fun. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of small businesses,
Yeah.
and it's really neat.
Tasty food.
Yeah,
No doubt.
absolutely.
No
Great
doubt.
restaurants.
Valpo's it's a great city, and
Yeah,
you know.
I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you're on a great council, you know.
So how do you see it politically, though? Do you see it politically changing more to the left, or do you see it kind of just right in the middle?
Good question. So I think you're right in saying that it's purple, and especially what happened. I think there was, again, the candidates that run and the candidates that ran and won, I think brought out like a different type of voter, or maybe
Right.
more energetic.
Voters that typically don't vote, maybe.
Yeah, because it's easy to think like, oh, local politics, like
Right.
boring. We've got
I
bigger
love
things.
local politics.
But I think
It's a
that's the
lot-
fault of people that they think.
I know.
They're juicy and
Yes.
it's fun and
And you get to run your
personal.
city, and you get to bring good things to your city, which
Well,
is
and
nice.
that's you can really make a difference in
For
in
sure.
a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
So
We
I
actually
really
work
enjoy that.
locally, though. You know, I know you guys in Valparaiso, just like us in Hammond, we actually do things. You know, and what I see in DC, because I ran for Congress and wasn't successful, and I actually think I got lucky. Because I don't know how happy I'd be there. Because we do things in Hammond. We're getting stuff
Yeah.
done, and I see what they're doing up there. It's like I don't know what they do.
Just like a little removed for me, I feel like.
Yeah, and I always say that too. That to people, I say, look and listen. You can argue all you want about who's going to be the president, but the reality is like you really have very little impact on who's going to be the president. But you do have more impact on what's going on in your community, and you have more ability to reach to your locally elected officials to have an impact.
Right.
And so it's like get involved locally. You
Right.
can really make a difference.
So yeah, Valpo's interesting, and I've only lived in the city since 2016. So
Oh, wow.
Wow.
politics
Holy
really
Look at you,
Where'd you come from?
They
overachiever.
were like, she's new.
Well, you know what? Hey, I didn't live in Hammond my whole life.
right.
When I ran, I had to deal with that. But once you win, you're in. Now you're there, and you're going to know more after your first term. You're going to know more about Valparaiso than people have lived there their whole life
Yep.
because you're on the council.
Yep,
So, like, nobody could use that against you again.
Look at
Good
you.
job.
And, yeah, thank you. I grew up in Crown Point. So
Wow.
I'm
That's
from
great.
the
You're a region
so-
person.
So,
I'm still a region
Mayor
person.
Dave and I are dear friends. Mayor Pete and I are currently dear friends.
Yeah.
I love Crown Point. My family, a
pretty
lot of
good,
it's a
too.
nice town. So, you went to Crown Point High and all that?
I did.
Look at you.
Well,
Region girl.
yeah, I'm a region girl.
That's right.
Priorities in your first term. What's like if you thought to yourself in 4 years, all right, I did a great job, I accomplished this, what would name a couple that you think would be right up there?
on my progressive agenda.
Okay.
What do you say?
Which
like
is
that?
Just kidding.
pink cups
You-
for
you
everyone.
Pink cups for everyone. It
We're
is-
starting with the
like
cup.
it is almost symbolic because my background is environmental education, and so I'd like to see more focus on like a future-focused, green, sustainable culture that is just like natural for our different departments or our city in general. And Valpo already does a good job. I just think that we can do better.
Because your city hall is solar and everything, right?
We got solar panels.
Right.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. And there are a lot of efficient things in our public works and our different departments. I'm learning a lot about that right now. We have rain gardens. We can have more. We can have more solar. We can have more incentives for recycling and waste reduction, things like that. So the town of Porter, Michigan City, Highland, I'm not sure if they passed theirs yet, but there's a big push for these commissions on sustainability or environmental commissions, and it's a group of people just like your planning commission that come together, talk about what's going on, make recommendations.
Do you do this in your real job outside of politics, or are you in environmental?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've had a variety of environmental experiences. I'll talk about that for 1 second. I went to Purdue University. I have a background in wildlife biology,
Nice.
Wow.
forestry, natural resources. Great at identifying trees.
Are you?
I worked at
Really?
an arboretum. I worked at Museum of Science and Industry.
You'd be great on Naked and Afraid, not just because of the naked part, but like you would
Oh,
be able to
thank you.
identify food and all that stuff. So
Only if
I've
we
never
were-
said that to a guest before, by the way.
I heard
so.
you say that to
Probably
Kevin
shouldn't say
earlier.
it.
I said it to you. I probably won't. I don't want to ever be sued. We're having trouble renewing our insurance right now. So
wait,
Keep going, Tom. Keep
you
digging,
can
keep digging
identify-
that hole.
if you can identify food, I'm saying.
Yeah, in Indiana specifically.
Oh, okay, yeah, that doesn't work in Central America.
No,
so.
I don't follow me into Central America. And then what else have I? I currently work for our solid waste district of Porter County.
Nice, congrats.
So I've got.
You got a lot of stuff
various
going on. Very interesting.
I've
I've never had
got
someone
going
on that. We've never had someone on the show that said, "I'm very good at identifying trees."
Agree. We've had some.
But people
I almost
don't
feel
like
like I
to
want to
brag
walk
about it.
outside with you and be like, "All right, come on,
Yeah.
go ahead."
And then I'll be
Me
like, look
too.
over
You
there.
could,
and
Jill?
I'll use
Yeah.
my identification app.
Yeah.
So, do you use? Can you identify a tree by the leaf or the trunk or the branch?
All.
Oh man,
No
you're
way.
showing off again.
I am. And that's why I came in here. I was like, oh, you guys want to know my like secret talents? I'll tell you. It's
Oh, yeah.
trees.
That's
so
awesome.
one of the things I saw in your bio as we were doing some
Oh my
research
gosh,
was
the Googling.
Oh, yeah.
was
We Googled
4-year president of South Shore Roller Derby girl or Roller Girls. Is this?
Yeah.
Have I met
Have you been to 219 Day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have I met you there?
Yes.
Oh my God, I feel
Wow.
so stupid.
This is how
When I
this
saw
is-
the Roller
This
Girls,
was the
I'm like-
connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
I
what? I'm
thought
sorry,
that's
Ellen,
why I thought-
Councilwoman. Nice to see you
Yeah.
again.
It's hard.
Roller Derby girl.
It is.
identify
No,
because
you
I
know
don't have
what?
a helmet on.
When I read that, I was like, I think I've met her before.
Yeah, you've taken pictures
Yes.
with our booth before,
Mhm.
but
I have.
I mean, it's
a pleasure.
219 Day, so I'm
You guys are
usually
awesome. I
busy
love the
with
Roller
like
Girls.
the Michael Jackson
Yeah.
or whether Reggie the Rat's there. Like
Look
we're
at you.
usually really busy.
Thank you, by the way, thank you South Shore Roller Girl Derby for continuing to sponsor 219 Day. It's almost
our
like one of
pleasure.
these
We love
things
you
where it's
guys.
like, are the roller derby girls going to
Yeah,
be there?
it
Right?
just makes sense.
It
you
does
know?
make sense.
I do.
And I
Yeah.
thought that's why Steve had reached out. I was like, oh,
It makes
because we
sense.
have Derby at
See?
the Civic Center
Yes,
tomorrow.
coming up,
Yes.
coming up, coming
And
up.
I was like, perfect.
It would
yeah,
be
I'm
so
happy
good
to
if I was a
talk
good
about
mayor
it.
like that.
What?
If I could put it together like
Pump
that.
that up a little bit. What's
It
tomorrow
is.
at the Hammond Civic Center?
It's South Shore Roller Derby doubleheader. Yeah, and
Will you be skating or just like as a figurehead?
I'm skating. I'm filling in.
Are you
on-
the bruiser on the team? Is there a
Because
bruiser
that's
on
my
the team?
team. Yeah, I mean we all.
What's
have,
your nickname?
Whoa.
This is a lot.
Uh-oh.
Well, you mean like my
Do you-
derby name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's L Kapitan.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that. Just
Yeah,
like the
it's
mountain.
Just like
Mhm.
my name, so it's really easy to
That-
remember.
I like that.
But what I love about Derby is that everyone has their strengths, and there's a place for all of them on the team. So I've got tall and short, different size people, different
Really?
ages, different backgrounds, and like,
So fun.
we all come together, and it's really cohesive
All
and
right,
amazing. And I'm always like, man, I wish more things functioned
It's
the way
at
my
tomorrow?
team functions.
So if people want to go, what's the deal tomorrow at Hammond Civic Center? 5825 Soul Avenue, Hammond, Indiana.
Nice. I was like, someone else say
that's
what
right.
the address
That's
is. It's $10 at the door. The doors open at 5. We skate first bouts at 5:30, seconds at 7-ish. There'll be food, drinks. I think it's all cash usually.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bring your
be ready for
cash.
that. Bring your cash. And it's always a rip-roaring good time.
That's awesome.
And plus, there's never a bad seat at the city.
No,
that is true.
I love that venue.
It's so old school, isn't it?
I love
Thank
it.
you.
It's so
awesome.
old
Isn't it
school.
cool?
It's
It
like
just
a
makes-
region icon.
Yeah, and
That's
it
so
just
awesome,
makes sense that we
Councilwoman.
would be there.
It's so cool that you guys are doing that. I appreciate that. I'm
of
sorry.
course.
I should have put that together. We wanted you because we're interested in you. And look at you're having a thing in
But
Hamden,
now I
too.
have to promote my non.
And you
great.
should.
It's great.
Which
I'm
South
glad.
Shore Roller Derby is a 501c3 nonprofit.
So everything
Yeah.
is. So I can be. Is it deductible? Am I $10? Can I?
Well,
or is it,
I think it has to be.
more of a
what's-
donation.
Yeah, like a higher amount.
Yes, true.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Look at that.
all right.
I'm just like probably like 1,000.
So bring 1,000 and I can
Yeah,
don't.
and
All
then
right.
then you can write it off. But also,
I better
to
get a
speak
good
to
seat for
our-
that.
No bad seat. Remember.
True.
To speak to our just community focused is that we have a organization that will support like a charity. There it is.
Mhm.
A charity for the season. Last year was Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, nice.
Women Builds, and we actually had teammates go out and help build a house.
Oh,
Oh,
which is
cool.
so cool.
On skates.
Not on
No,
skates,
alright.
but this year we're doing Meals on Wheels.
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice.
Obviously, right? I don't know if we'll be delivering on wheels, but
I think
like,
yes.
But
That's a
I think
great
like
idea.
the graphics
Kinda work-
make
yes,
sense, right?
Meals
The
on-
marketing makes sense.
Without a doubt.
And then we're collecting items to donate for Foods Not Bombs, Northwest Indiana, and there's a list of that on our website and on our Facebook page.
Guys, let me. Excuse me. Sorry. How's Mayor Costas dealing with this change of command? Kind of.
Whoa! I was like, he
I know,
probably
that's
loves,
right from
No,
roller
you know what?
Derby.
Because
Loves
Kevin took
roller
us.
derby, yeah.
Kevin took us in a direction. I'm still interested in that dynamic between you guys and the mayor. Is like as a mayor, does he like do a good job of reaching out? Like obviously, you guys don't see the world similarly. I do. I think I do a pretty good outreach as mayor, making sure that council and I are somewhat on the same page.
No,
so.
I have not felt like we were on opposite pages yet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, only a
70
couple.
type,
Yeah.
75 days. Yeah.
Right. How many days?
Oh, maybe
Uh,
90.
Well,
Getting close. 80
it's
something.
all the same until we're at 100, right?
Sure.
So I've felt very welcomed and comfortable working with the mayor's office. He and our city admin, and we've had different department head meetings just to us new folks just to keep getting more information and figure out what's going on, get good background, get good groundwork for making huge decisions that benefit the whole city. So the working relationship is great, and I think that
He's a gentleman.
yeah, Mayor
I've known him a
Costas
long
is
time.
he's very receptive
Yeah.
to people, so I appreciate that. Even his demeanor just at like our public comment at city council is a stark difference than what it was, where like he's not checking the time for
Right,
people,
there you
and
go.
people feel comfortable coming up. So I think even that as a culture shift has been huge. And then pair that with our last city council meeting was a record short of only 40 minutes. The
Wow.
one before that was 3 hours and 45
Whoa.
Holy crap.
Whoa.
3 hours and 45 minutes.
And I was like, let's make it 3 more.
Oh my goodness!
wow.
But-
I would walk out of town.
No, you wouldn't, because
Yeah.
it was actually so informative that not a lot of people left.
Was it public comment that was stretching it, or was it?
No, we just had a ton of agenda items. And because I want to say not just because we're new, but because we have a lot of people that are engaged. Our council people ask questions and get information. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from residents that they appreciate those discussions, and then that information comes out in a public setting rather than like just your yes, no, just your no vote, let's move on. So people feel that they have that information. They know what we're thinking. They know what's going into our decisions. And I think that's been a really big difference from the past.
That's great. Wow. That's
It's a
very
pleasure to meet you. I'm so glad you came on.
Thanks for coming in.
We're gonna be watching you guys out there. I'm really interested in that whole dynamic. I love government, local government. And I think
really
it's awesome.
fun.
It is really fun.
It's really fun.
I've been doing it for
I love
20
the
years.
energy.
So, yeah,
This is very energetic. This is 20 years.
yeah. You're gonna look like this after it's all done. I know.
I guess I won't be running again.
Yeah, you better stop now. Stop
That
early.
was
Ellen.
awesome.
So,
Let's get it.
So thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks for
Lockpod.
having me.
I hope
Good luck
it was
tomorrow
fun
at the
for you.
Derby.
Yeah, tell
Thank
everybody
you.
in Valpo we said hey, and we're watching them. Congratulations
will.
to your council.
Thank you very much.
Say hello to the mayor for me. He's a gentleman.
I
We're
will let
good
him
friends,
know.
and we're really proud of you. And I think you're doing great things. You got so many talents, and it's just awesome to see you here. So we appreciate you coming by.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
Good
thanks
to
for
meet you
coming in.
guys.
Awesome.
Thanks. And I know you didn't notice, we went flawlessly with technical, and we have our backup quarterback on tech today, Chris Campbell here. So thank you, Chris, for another
Chris.
flawless show.
Yeah, you're welcome. Not actually flawless, though. I realized I was probably muted like most of the show.
It's all right. Nobody else noticed. So but appreciate you, Chris. Thanks for coming in here. Jill, awesome. Thank you very much for coming in. It's nice to have another woman in the studio. I know sometimes Jill feels outnumbered in here, so thank you very much for helping us out with that.
She holds her own.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We have to.
Yeah, right.
It's fine.
And then thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
And we did a good job getting ready for this one, and I appreciate Ellen coming in, and it's good to see you. And thanks, everybody, for listening to Lock Pod. We'll be back on Tuesday. We only have 2 episodes left with this season. Season 11 will be wrapping up next week. So, get your fill on Tuesday and Friday next week, and we're going on vacation for a month. So appreciate you all listening. We will be back on Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Lock Pod is out.